I found this dollhouse a while back being sold close by to me for only 20 bucks. I got this vision for it since my daughter had just started being interested in pretend play. I got these samples of all these color shades for like $6 at Home Depot for other projects I was working on, and I was pretty sure that it would be plenty for the house, so I didn't even have to buy any paint. So let's start with the first floor. I made these wooden panels into a very authentic looking stained wood floor. And then I really love this dark color on a ceiling when done right. The other trend I love that's coming back is wallpaper. I was dying to try it and found this beautiful yellow one I hunted down at Home Depot. I didn't even need to get too much since it was just for these small walls because it can get expensive. So this was the top floor, and then I moved on to the middle floor. I had this idea almost right away of having my daughter paint with colors that she chose, and then I used that to turn her art into a large wall piece. I'm including some of my mistakes and ideas that didn't really pan out because it's fun and it's all part of the process. I tried out a couple of ideas for this floor and finally landed on creating a stained look but with paint. I didn't have a ton of faith in how this would turn out, but I ended up loving it so much. There's the finished floor. This project was all about trying bold and modern design ideas I don't feel like I'm brave enough to actually try in my own home. So this oceany color was so fun to try out on a whole wall, even if that wall is really small. This is Caribbean Current, and it went perfectly with the wall art and was such an amazing contrast with the floor. Last up, I'm going to show you the process of creating the bottom floor, which is the kitchen. That's an epoxy resin. Next, I'm going to show you a couple of more kind of missteps I made along the way. Sometimes an idea is way better in my head, so I just have to sort of try stuff out and then maybe it works and maybe it doesn't. I initially painted this wall yellow with trim and then with white on the bottom. Almost immediately hated how this tile looked. It's so gorgeous, but I just had to tear it all off. Same with the trim. Once I saw it, I just didn't like it, so I just painted the whole wall yellow instead, which I liked way better. A couple of more touch-ups, and now it's time to work on the outside. There was a very specific look I was going for with the outside, and that required painting the whole thing white. This took quite a few coats. Someone clearly painted this at some point, and it's beautiful. It's almost European looking, but I was just going for a more modern look. I sanded these sticks for the roof, just to smooth them out a bit, and then started laying them out kind of in the pattern that I wanted on the roof. I was attempting to copy a very specific style. And then I found this black paint that is so cool. It's actually a matte paint, so it goes on kind of navy blue, but then when it dries, it looks perfectly black and matte. A couple more coats just to touch everything up, and then I touched up the white. I tried out a couple of different things for the windows, like sanding it down and staining it, but the wood underneath just wasn't great. So I ended up deciding to do black all around the frame except for the top arch portion. Time to stain all of these even smaller wood panels. painted the door, and then when the sticks were done drying, I was able to start gluing them into shutters. I knew exactly what I wanted this to look like also, so then I was able to start applying them to the outside of the windows, and I honestly loved the way this looked. Some last minute touch-ups to the outside. And here you can see this paint kind of goes on navy blue. It's such a cool paint. Time to move on to the indoor accessories. I didn't go crazy here because this is still a work in progress, but I did want to create a cool rug for the inside. So I folded the edges on this and then used a handheld sewing machine to sew the edges. Next, I made mini plant hangers, kind of imitating like a macrame design, and then used glue here and there to make it sturdy for plants. I found these little battery-powered lights that were warm light and that I figured I could install by drilling holes into the ceiling and then gluing them in. That way they can be easily replaced but are kind of hiding in the ceiling. Then I installed these cute little screws for hanging the plant hangers. Put some plants in the window. This is such a cute little room. Definitely not totally complete with furniture or anything, but this room honestly came out better than I could have imagined. Such fun colors. I would have been way too scared to use on a bigger scale quite yet, but it did inspire me that someday I might want to use this. So here's the top floor, complete with the wooden floor and lighting. This is kind of the bedroom, and it's a kind of a bold look, but I'm really happy about how it turned out. Last, the bottom floor, which is the kitchen. The lighting for this room isn't the best, but it looks really cute and homey in real life. And with kitchen accessories and all of that, it would be so cute. But again, this is a work in progress. Here's a quick look at the whole thing. Bedroom, living room, kitchen. And then some looks at the whole thing in natural outdoor lighting. This color contrast on the outside is just so striking, I think. Some better looks at the inside. My daughter was already playing with it at this point, and some of her dolls were in it. Sometimes I finish projects and I'm really unsatisfied with the result. This one, on the other hand, turned out exactly how I hoped, better than I even expected. It gave me a chance to try out some fun design ideas while also involving my daughter in a dollhouse that she gets to play with and making it colors that she really likes too. This is one of my most favorite projects so far.